Hello, everyone. Welcome to Q&A Sundays. I'm your host, LJ Young. Turn this off before it's a little loud on me. Give everybody a chance to get up in here as always. Let's see. Okay. I always just send out my own notifications too, just to kind of speed up the notification process. What is that? Must have did some extra. Interesting. All right, give everybody a chance to get up in here, get the notifications. As we wait, I am going to send out a notification within the community just to make it a little faster here. Let me see, where's that at? Huh. Where's that? Live. Hello. Okay, there we go. All right, get link. All right, community tab. Post. All right. What's up, Aaron? Damn, Aaron, you be getting it. I don't know. You must need to teach other people how to get notifications faster, because I swear, man, you be getting them notifications quick. What's up, Hyphy? What's going on, man? I mean, you be getting those quick. What's up, L Marshall? Okay, we're gonna get started in about another minute or so, minute and a half, something like that. Oh man, it's a beautiful day here today in South Carolina. Man, it is warm. It's more like a little bit of humidity. Let me see what its temperature is today, because it's probably more humidity than anything, but let's see. Oh no, 77. Oh, 77 degrees. I never scratched that. That is nice. What's gonna be it's gonna be 80. Oh, we're gonna have a high of 81 today? No, that can't be true. Let's see. Oh no, it says a high of 81. Okay, cool. Wow. That is crazy. That would not happen. You would not be getting 81 degrees in Seattle today in February. That would not happen ever. That's why I love it here, man. That's why I absolutely love it here. All right. Welcome. Man, you guys been sending some good articles over there in the Discord server, man. I've been reading a lot of those. Yellow J sent one. Household debt rises to 14.6 trillion due to record-breaking. Due to the obvious, basically. Anyway, all right. Let's get started. My name is LJ Young, and I am a 100% debt-free motivational speaker and personal finance educator. I help people become financially free by helping them mathematically see outside what I call the debt matrix. And the debt matrix is a place where everybody lives that believes in credit and debt and finance and everything that goes down in value, and wondering why they're living paycheck to paycheck. It can't be the credit. It can't be the credit card payments. It can't be the 2-car payments. It can't be the furniture payments. It can't be the refrigerator, digital screen refrigerator payments. I can't believe that people are making payments on a freaking refrigerator because it got a screen on it. That's insane, man. That is absolutely insane. But anyway, that's another story. Anyway, I lived there for the first 40 years of my life. There's two kind of if you live in a debt matrix, you're a slave, and there's two kind of slaves. There's unconscious slaves and conscious slaves. Unconscious slaves don't trust mathematics, and they don't know they don't trust mathematics. So let me give you people that believe they're homeowners with 30-year mortgages. People that refinance their house, have refinanced their house several times and still believe they're homeowners. It's just insane, right? Those are unconscious slaves that don't believe in mathematics. Conscious slaves were once unconscious. Now They trust math, realize that they're a slave, and they're doing whatever it takes to get out of the debt matrix. Okay, how do you get out the debt matrix? The door to exit the debt matrix is to trust math. All right, let me give you an example. If you ever want to exit the debt matrix, open up your calculator app, put in your mortgage payment minus your mortgage balance, and hit equal. All right, now when you hit equal, you're going to see this large negative number. It must be negative because you have a mortgage. So it will be negative. Don't worry about it. It's going to be a very large negative number. All you have to do to believe, or excuse me, leave the debt matrix, you got to look at that number and believe it. You see that large negative number, you say, wait a minute, I'm not according to the laws of mathematics on this calculator, I'm not a homeowner. No, you're not. Not even close, especially if you have a subprime mortgage, FHA mortgage, first time home, blah, 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 the veteran mortgage or whatever. They all have different names. They're all for unconscious slaves because only an unconscious slave would ever sign up for a subprime mortgage. Subprime mortgages are specifically designed for unconscious slaves specifically. All right. So that's where I lived for the first 40 years of my life. I did all the things that I'm telling you I did. I financed couple of houses, 2 or 3 houses in my lifetime. I'm sure the last two were subprime mortgages. The first one was a regular mortgage. I got lucky, but I didn't really understand how good of a mortgage I had because an older person helped me, but they never did explain it to me. But anyway, now I'm wise. I came out of the debt matrix. I found Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey said, take the math that you learned in grade school, apply it to your finances, and you'll always win with money. That's what I did. Now I'm free. Now I took what I learned from Dave Ramsey, and I simplified it even more. Everything I say, I quantify it with mathematics. I mean, not quantify, justify it with mathematics. So everything I say will put in the you can put it in a calculator and it will equal to exactly what I'm talking about. Anyway, today is Q&A Sunday where you can ask me anything about personal finances, how will finances affect you as a person, relationship, what's it like living outside the debt matrix, what can you do, what are the things other people can't see, blah, blah. It's any kind of questions. And I was talking to my girlfriend the other day about this, and I was wondering why more people didn't come up and ask me questions. And I thought it was more of me, but it's not me. It's more of people don't want to feel embarrassed that they made a mistake in finances, right? And I want you guys that are listening to show you how powerful this is, because learning what I teach it's a financial superpower. All right. Millions of people don't know what I teach here. Millions. Okay. It's a financial superpower. You'll be free for the rest of your life. You'll live unlike millions of people that are just walking around like unconscious slaves. They just walk around not knowing, eating, drinking, entertainment, and they go back home and start it all over again. Okay, we got to come. Weekend's here. Weekend's over. We got to get ready for Monday, work through Monday, and look forward to Friday and start the whole process over and over and over until they're dead. All right. Those are unconscious slaves. We need them. Slaves are necessary. Okay. I'm not against slaves because slaves are slaves by choice. They're choosing to not trust math. So if you did the earlier calculation with the mortgage payment minus the mortgage balance, if you choose not to believe what's on your calculator, you are an unconscious slave. If you believe that you're still a homeowner, even though the calculator is showing you a negative number and you still believe you're a homeowner, you're an unconscious slave. Okay, because that breaks all the laws of mathematics. All right. What's up, Andre? Nicer, True Light, retired. So I'm gonna paste this link in here, and we're gonna go about an hour or so. I can't be on too long if there's not gonna be questions. Here is the link. If you want to, you don't have to get on camera or anything. But anyway, back to the power thing. Even without their real name behind the YouTube name, made up name, no camera on, people are still too embarrassed to even talk about it because they don't want to be shamed by the people that are listening. But what people like that don't really understand, that 97, and this is my opinion, I believe it's more like 96, 97% of people in the US are in debt. Okay, they're just in debt. Now, when people get judged by other people, usually those are other unconscious slaves judging you. Usually it's other people making car payments judging you because their car is better than yours because they're making higher monthly payments. It makes other slaves, they just make absolutely no sense when they talk like that, right? It's usually slaves judging other slaves because when you get out of the debt matrix, you don't even hear slaves. You don't hear them judging you. You don't hear them saying the negative things they say. You don't even hear it because you will not pay attention to the words that come out of a slave's mouth. I don't pay attention to no slaves. I don't care where a slave lives. I don't care what kind of career a slave has. I don't care if they're a doctor, lawyer, pharmacist, whatever. If you got student loan debt, you're a slave. Okay. You can't tell me anything about finances because you have no idea what you're talking about. None, zero. Slaves can't tell you about investing because they can't invest negative dollars. It's 100% math. It's against the laws of mathematics to invest in anything while having student loan debt. The laws of mathematics say that's impossible. It's 100% impossible to invest in anything outside of yourself with student loan debt if you have student loan debt, especially if you have 10-year, 20-year, 30-year-old student loan debt. Oh yeah, believe that. There's plenty of people that got student loans for 40 years. Correct. Yes, that's true. Now, if you're a young person listening to this and you're like, "Oh my God, how could they do that?" Remember, they were once 22 as well. They was 20s and 30s. They were the same as you. The same as you. Couldn't believe it. Oh my God, I can't believe people have student. Yeah. And you're going to be that same person that has 20 and 30-year-old student loans. You keep it up. Now, again, that is a must. Student loans are how they create slaves. Now, when you're a parent and you've been a slave all your life because you've kept your student loans all your life, and then all of a sudden you don't have no money, you're not going to have any money anyway. They already know you're not going to have any money. That's why they invented the Parent Plus loan. Okay, that's the same as student loans. But what that is, what that really is a parent that has had student loans all their lives, which that means they're not going to have any money for their kid or their college or whatever, right? So they feel guilty and they pull out a Parent Plus loan, which pretty much puts the nail in their financial coffin. Soon as they've had their student loans are older than their child that's about to go to college. They don't have no money. Then they take out a Parent Plus loan. That's pretty much hammering the nails that you will be a slave until you're dead, for sure, without a doubt. You're going to be a slave until you're dead. Or they take out a Parent Plus loan and say, "Hey, child, you got to pay me back." The child gets out of college. Don't pay the parents back. The relationship's ruined. Whatever. Done. It just, it's you want to get out of that. You don't want to be part of that. You don't have to be part of that. You don't have to be part of the $1 trillion student loan debt. You don't have to be part of the $1 trillion car loan debt. You don't have to be part of the $1 trillion whatever debt, whatever. Just pick one. I don't know. There's a whole bunch of them. They're all for slaves. If the word slave bothers you, that's because you are a slave. If somebody walked up to me and called me a slave, I would look around and say, "Who are you talking to? You talking to me?" Oh yeah, yeah. You were obviously a slave because you have no idea what you're talking about, right? If you want to be free, here's the link. Here's the link to ask questions. Maybe maybe you're in a dead end relationship and you got a partner that's just spending money. You don't know where the money's going. You don't know what they're doing with their money. You can find out easily. You know that? If you're with somebody and you don't know what they're doing with their money, all you got to do is this. Let me see your personal credit report. It will tell you everything you need to know about your partner. If you are with somebody and you have never, ever, ever seen their credit report, that's a big, big problem. And if say like you say, "Oh, I've never asked that. Let me go find that out." And then you go and ask the person that you're sleeping with and or whatever, been together, got kids together, and you go and ask to see the personal credit report and they get offended. That's a problem. What are you getting offended for? We've been having sex for years. What are you talking about? Oh, I can't see it. I can share my body with you, but you can't share your credit report with me? That's a problem. That's a very big problem. But beware, okay? Their response will tell you everything you need to know if you ask for it. Oh, what you want to see that for? What do you mean what I want to see that for? Because we're together. You want to see mine? I'll show you mine if you show me yours. Pretty crazy, huh? Yeah, it's true. That'll tell you what slaves don't really understand too is that not only does a credit report tell about finances, it tells about a person's integrity, if they're trustworthy, if they're if it tells so much about it. Just a credit report tells about the person. I promise you. I didn't really know that until I got out of debt, and I was like, "Damn, credit report tells more about that than and think there's some people out there with pages among pages within their credit report. Pages don't even need to be. It don't even need to be one page, not even a full page. Now, if you have any questions, you can ask. You can click the link. You can ask within the chat if you want. I'm gonna put this banner up here. If you want a consultation, there you go. Here is my. Don't forget to hit the like button. Please don't forget to subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram. What else? There's my Cash App. Okay. What is today? Sunday? Sunday, 4 o'clock? Yeah, okay, cool. What's up? The woman who doesn't exist. The woman who doesn't exist to you. Oh, oh, that's right. She renamed her name. Okay, I forgot. All right, there you go. So I recognize the picture. Okay. The woman who doesn't exist. What made you come up with that name? The woman that doesn't exist to you. It must be some kind of just to let dudes know online or something. Alien Squad, Alien Squad. We're aliens here. If you're new to the channel, we're aliens. All right, let's see here. Now, like I said, we're gonna go maximum of an hour if there's no questions or some people coming up saying some let's see. Let me check the other 1 second here. I'm gonna check the because sometimes this StreamYard, the links will be coming through kind of late, and I can't see the comments until later. Let me see. Oh, pause. Oh, there we go. The woman that doesn't exist. The woman only exists to me. That woman only exists to me. So if you're new to the channel, don't be shy. Don't be. I'm here to help. I'm not mean. I'm just I will give you a mathematical response. Something to make you think. Something to make you help you be free. Know what it's like to no longer be a slave, period. You know what I'm saying? LJ, I'm distancing myself from my slave friends. Slave complain a lot. They complain a lot, man. And you know what's so crazy? You naturally start to distance yourself from slaves because slaves have a problem for every solution. They do. They have a problem for every, I mean, I tell you, man. I mean, it's almost like slaves look for problems. I'm at a point in my life where I always, no matter the situation, I always look for the positive in that situation. You know how hard that is to be for, like, if you're driving down the street and your car breaks down and you think to yourself, there couldn't be no positive outcome from your car breaking down on the side of the freeway. It always is. It is. How's the day? Is the day nice? Is it during the day? Did it break down in a safe place? Are you in the middle of the freeway? You know what I'm saying? There's always a positive outlook, and that's what I do. Then it says, sometimes when I want a good chuckle, I'll pull a philosophy. I know, right? It is entertaining. It is it pretty much is it's entertaining. Now, uh God, what's my man's name? What's his name? Denzel. Denzel, yeah, yeah, Denzel. Now I haven't heard from him in a while. Usually he'll pop in every now and then. He is a big velocity banking expert, I guess. I don't know. Can you be an expert velocity banker? I don't know. Anyway, uh I like him because he's very good at what he does. I mean, excluding the subject, right? Excluding velocity banking, he knows what to do to attract his type of audience. Dress nice, he's young, matching clothes, the whiteboard, blah blah blah. Just all the standard stuff that they do to attract slaves to say, "Hey, look at this. Look at what I'm doing. See, I look the part. Look, look." And math doesn't care how you're dressed, what you look like, your haircut. Math just says, "Hey, 1 + 1 = 2." Period. That doesn't care, right? It's just funny. But anyway, I personally, I got some SMD family members that don't like him. That's cool. Everybody like what I mean, I like him. He's a cool kid. He's out there making his money legally. Because if even though we don't agree with velocity banking, always look at it this way: is what they're doing legal? If it's yes, it's just business. It's nothing more than that. Nothing more than that. Yes, very important, retire. Very important. When you escape the matrix, slaves try to make you feel guilty. Uh yeah, they do. But you know what I'm saying? After you've been out of the debt matrix long enough, again, I don't even acknowledge slaves unless I have to, right? Unless I Now, don't get me wrong. I see them when I'm walking around. I see slaves walking amongst us. I mean, they're doing whatever they do. They go eat, drive, travel, go, entertainment, and then they go home and start the process all over again. So, velocity banking is for most definitely for slaves. Velocity banking is for slaves that believe that they can go into debt to get out of debt. It makes absolutely no sense. You got to go deeper in debt to save money. It doesn't even make any sense. But whatever. But what it is like this: slaves believe freedom is outside themselves. It's something outside of themselves that's going to get them out of debt faster than themselves. Yeah, he's cool. He's cool with me. I mean, I like him. I've been retired for 18 months, and slaves still ask me what I do with my what do I do with my free time? Because they don't know what that's like. They don't know what it's like to own the 40 hours a week. They don't know what it's like to own Monday through Friday. Slaves believe, unconscious slaves believe, that Saturday and Sunday are special. They don't realize Saturday and Sunday are only special to them. People outside the debt matrix, we understand that Saturday and Sunday are just days of the week. Saturday is no different than Monday. God made all 7 days. Okay. He didn't say, "Hey, I don't like Monday, but I want you guys to all enjoy Saturday." No, they're just days of the week. That's it. Nothing more than that. They're not special. I don't know. It's like you can always tell. And you got to remember this: slaves don't know they speak debt, right? So you can always tell when they ask you a question. It's always, if it's sarcastically. If they're just asking you because they think you're full of shit and they just want to see what the answer is, who knows? But they don't know that they're obvious. Me neither. It doesn't. Monday, I don't even know what day it is unless I have an appointment, because I don't care. I don't care what time it is. I don't care what day it is. I don't care. It has nothing to do with me, right? Unless I have an appointment at a specific date and time. That's it. I remember when I was slowly coming out of the debt matrix, I was feeling bad that I didn't know what time it was. I was feeling bad I didn't know what day it was. I was like, oh my God, I feel so just lazy. I just don't know. That's because I was breaking out the program. That's it. Just breaking out the program. Yes, 40-hour work week. Have you ever stopped and asked yourself, who invented the 40-hour work week? People with money. Hey, slaves. Okay, 5 days a week. This is what you do. 40 is the minimum. Why 40? I don't know, because we said it's slave. So they just say, okay, 40. Anything over 40 is overtime. Who said anything over 40 is overtime? Wealthy people do it. Oh, okay. Slaves get back to work. And listen, like when you listen to social media, look how many slaves brag about getting in that overtime. Oh man, I'm getting in that overtime. I'm getting in that. Really? You're happy to be working 60 hours a week? Hell no, I don't want none of that. I don't want no parts of that. If you want to change that, you don't have to be part of that. You don't to be financially free, you don't have to have millions of dollars. All you have to do is get to zero. That's it. Just get to zero and you're free. Nobody owns you. But and this is for yourself, because you can't lie to yourself. If you truly believe that you'll never ever pay off your student loan debt, you're going to be a slave until you're dead. If you go on vacations while having student loan debt, you're just a slave on vacation. Okay. If you finance a new car while having student loan debt, you're just a slave in a new car. That's it. The car's not even yours. You're just a slave driving the bank's new car, which a depreciating object, which they don't even want. They don't care about things that go down in value. That's you. David says, LJ, if one is debt free in their 30s, how much money does one need to retire comfortably in the USA? I put it this way. If you understand what I'm teaching you in your 30s, you will be a millionaire. You will, by default. You will not worry about how much money you need to retire comfortably. You will know exactly how much money you need, because remember this, everybody's version of retirement is different. Now, if you just been programmed by TV and TV says, hey, this is retirement. Retirement's in Mexico. Retirement means live in this house. Retirement means live in the hills of California. Everybody's version of retirement is different. Whatever retirement is to you. And when you find something you love, like what I do right now, I love what I do. I don't ever want to retire from speaking to people about getting out of debt. I will be able to do this until I'm dead, because we will always have slaves until I'm dead. Slaves will be here centuries. Okay. What's up, Antonio? Sure is. Slave to the lender. L. Marshall says, LJ, since being debt free, I'm in no rush to see slaves. Is it bad enjoying being alone and stacking money? You know what's crazy? Being alone is part of the process. Okay. Being alone allowed me to peel off the 40-hour work week, associating myself with the title of systems engineer 4 or 5 or whatever that was, right? I had to let all that go so I could discover me. You discover more in silence. I promise you that. Promise you that. Just be alone, enjoy your time. Only being alone, and then you will invite other people, like-minded people, that will come into your life. I promise you, that's how it works. You got to remove all the slaves. What's up, Dominique? In the movie The Matrix, do people realize that Neo never escaped the Matrix? Also, Morpheus flat out lied to Neo. Never was the one. He was a part. He was a part of the system. Just do the best you can. When I think about this one, when I think about the movie The Matrix, now that I'm out of the debt matrix, the movies try to depict, they try to show you what is the best way they can with the movie. So when you watch a movie like The Matrix, when they show you things, you got to exclude all the things that you know you could physically never do, right? You can't physically fly, you can't physically dodge bullets and stuff like that. Those are things that you know can't physically. With The Matrix, I feel like I'm more like Morpheus, right? You take the blue pill or the red pill, it's totally up to you. You can stay in the matrix, believing you're a homeowner with a 30-year mortgage, financing cars year after year, financing new phones, and you walking around thinking you own everything. You got the newest and latest and greatest of everything, but you're making payments on all of it. See what I'm saying? That's living in the matrix. Dark Man says, about to turn 34. I'm noticing, and I'm noticing that what's Dark Man saying? What you saying, Dark Man? What's up, Double R? Thank you, sir. Retired says, LJ, I'm going to monk mode the next 90 days to get fit. Freedom is price. Oh yeah, it's free. Hey man, I have no problem. When I first got out of debt, I was going to the movies by myself. I was going to dinner by myself, and I didn't. You know how nice it is, like when you're ready to go out and go do something. You can go on, you don't have to wait for anybody. You don't have to say, hey, what do you want to eat? You can just go to the time you want, pick out what you want. You don't have to wait. You pick out the menu, order your food. Would you like to order now? Or you don't have to look across the table. Hey, what do you want? Oh, can you come back to the table later? I'm not ready. I just sit down, order my food, get it, leave, everything. I loved it. Dark Man says, about to turn 34 in a couple weeks, I'm realizing being conscious slave has its benefits. Went out with a young lady and realized that the delusion is unreal. Chick has 6-figure student loan debt and was rambling about Biden forgiveness. He said rambling. Hey, it was a great date. Are we having you gonna give me a kiss? No, I don't kiss slaves. Sorry. What do you mean I'm a slave? You got 6-figure student loan debt. What you gonna do about that? Oh, everybody got student loan debt. I know. Get out. They told Neil those things so he could overcome his down. Oh, okay. You guys getting all in the movie. Why does SMD not apply to governments? Why does SMD not apply to? I'm not sure what you mean by that, Dennis. What do you mean not apply to governments? Dave says, I love going out by myself. You can do whatever, stay as long as you like. You don't hear any complaints. No, sometimes I like doing that. I mean, I'm with somebody now. I'm with a wonderful woman and everything, but I still I still go on my walks alone. She knows, she doesn't pressure me. Hey, where you going? She don't do none of that. She knows I have to have my alone time sometimes. It allows me to think. I get to walk out in nature. I live in South Carolina now. It's 77 degrees. It's going to be a high of 81 today. I love it here. The sun re-energizes me. I had to get out of Seattle because of gray skies and rain. I lived there all my life. I was born in Seattle. Didn't leave until 2019. Al says, same thing happened to me. Girl I was dating has 100+ in student loans, but was worried about racism, and she was white. See what I'm saying? And if you're listening to this, I want you guys to understand something. Math doesn't care what color you are. Neither does debt. Both are the color. Debt is the colorblind slave master. Math doesn't care what you are. 1 + 1 = 2. It doesn't care if you're saying it. If 1 + 1 = 2 from a white person, 1 + 1 = 2 from a black person, 1 + 1 = 2 from a Chinese. It doesn't care. It's just 2. It doesn't care where it comes from. You know what I'm saying? Then it says, like it doesn't matter how much they spend versus how much they take. They just don't really understand. And that's okay. Again, slaves are number one. Slaves are number one. We need slaves. LJ, the friends were judging me that I didn't take her serious. What is it, LJ? The friends was judging me That I didn't take her seriously. She also was in a rush to get married, to have kids, had to exit. Oh, hell. Can you imagine marrying a slave? I did it a few times. But then again, I was a slave too. Okay. I'm not saying, I'm not calling the women I married slaves. And I'm not saying I wasn't. I was a slave too. But once you're not a slave, you will never marry a slave again. Ever. That will never happen. Andre says government is the conduit from slaves to aliens. Hmm. What do you guys? I guess I'm not really understanding what you guys talking about the government, because the government is us. We are the government. I think part of the well, I know part of the program too is looking at the government as a separate entity from us. Who works at the government? Space aliens? Who works there? People. Worry about the government of yourself. LJ, starting tomorrow, I'm going to walk 20,000 steps 5 times a week. You must got one of them step counters or something. Is that why you talking about steps? These people will die with their student loans, yeah. And guess what? When you die with student loans debt, guess who pays for them? Your partners in crime, slaves. When you die, your slave colleagues will pay off your student loan debt. They cannot lose. They get money your whole entire life. And then when you die, they get the balance paid by who? You slaves. You guys are a working I forgot the term I'm using. What's the self-sustaining slaves? Slaves will often rush and try to force marriage so that they can pass those debt responsibilities over. Yeah. Don't be like me, man. I was a slave. I had kids when I was a slave. Guess where I ended up? In court. In court, while a person in a black robe at what we're all facing and we must respect dictates my finances. You know, that's a horrible feeling, to be in court over children while some person in a black robe dictates how much money you can keep and how much money you have to spend. That was horrible. That was, and I was just helpless, totally helpless. Totally helpless. And it was my fault. It wasn't the woman that I was in court that I had a child with. It wasn't her fault. It was my fault for having a child with a slave. That was my fault. That was my fault. No, I was the common denominator. I remember being in court. I remember saying it to myself in my mind, I am not supposed to be here. I'm not supposed to be here. I am not supposed to be in this courtroom. I'm not supposed to be. You know how fucked it up it is when you're standing up there, because you gotta tell all your business in front of everybody that's sitting there waiting for their turn, so they hear all your shit, right? I remember I was up there. I'm listening, waiting for my turn to get seen by the judge and whatever, right? So this guy, but just before me, he was up there. Hey, Your Honor, I can't pay $25 a month for child support. I'm not working. I was like, $25 a month? And you telling the judge you can't pay it? All right, whatever. I forgot what happened with that case. Then all of a sudden I'm up next, and they're like, okay, Mr. Young, she's here to raise child support up. All right, how much you make? Oh, $100,000 a year or something. Well, sir, she only makes 30,000, so you're going to be paying $1,200 a month. I said, for one kid? Yes, sir. 1,200. Next. I couldn't do nothing about it. $1,200 a month for one kid. Plus, I had to provide healthcare insurance. You know how the healthcare insurance only covers up to about 80%, and then you got 20% left over you got to pay out of your pocket. Guess who had to pay the majority of the 20% on top of that? Me. Get me good. But check this out. Had I been debt free, making six figures, $1,200 a month wouldn't have been nothing for me. You see what I'm saying? It seemed like a lot because I was in debt. Had I not have been in debt, $1,200 a month wouldn't have been nothing. Yes, it does. Owning the time in your life. Outside is opening back up. Unconscious slaves are planning vacations left and right. Planning them like nothing ever happened. Poor slaves. Andre says the government are employees of the shareholders. The shareholders are employees of the creditors. The government. I always gotta take my time and read Andre's read Andre's his things. The government are employees of the shareholders. The shareholders are employees of the creditors. Okay. The bigger picture. Hey, and I want you guys to understand something. When you get out of debt matrix, be thankful that things come into focus slowly, because I could only imagine, I'm sure this has happened, if what I know today hit me at once, just shown it, I probably would have went crazy. I really would. I think I would have went crazy. LJ, I'm planning my first 30 days. Oh, 30-day across road trip across America, freedom. Wow, 30 days. Yeah, me and my girl, man, we drove from Seattle to South Carolina, and it was lovely, man. I just we parked at night because I wanted to see, because when you're traveling and you're driving at night, you don't see nothing, right? So we every time it went dark, we got a hotel, got back on the road in the daytime so we could see everything. It was beautiful. Al says, that's why I laugh when women say they're equal to men. If they were equal to men, why is there alimony and child? You know, and I get that. Like, if you get yourself caught up, because when I was in the mix, I was all, oh man, this ain't fair. Women this, and they get to do that. And no, it was my fault. It's my fault. It's not women's rights and blah blah. No, it was me. I was a slave, because had I not been a slave, I wouldn't have a baby by a slave. And if I wouldn't have married and had a child by slaves, I wouldn't be in court. I wouldn't be mad that the women this and that and blah blah blah. It's all bullshit. It has nothing to do with men or women. I promise you. True Life says 40 million homes in California, 150,000 in California, 150,000 notaries. Like I said, I'm gonna make a fucking killing doing. Oh, that's right. That's why you did say True said you're doing that. Okay, god damn. 40 million homes, 154,000 notaries. Wow. Yeah, who else is doing that? I'm trying to think of his name is Ken, but I'm trying to think of the Scout, the SMD family member, the Scout. He is doing notary. He's doing mobile notary. He's doing that now too. Let's see. Damn, LJ, I don't have any kids, and that's pissing me off hearing. Oh, you know what? It's not a big. Put it this way: when I remember being in debt, I remember other slaves used to always say, "Hey, there's really no good time to have children if you just don't do it." Yes, it is. Not when you're if you're a slave, don't have kids. Okay, if you don't even own yourself, don't have children until you own yourself. Okay, I cannot repeat that, unless own yourself. And then when you decide to have a kid, make sure whoever the woman, man or woman, doesn't matter, whoever your partner is, make sure they're not a slave either. What's up, Omanique? Had a woman argue with me that women are equal to men. I said, you're wrong. See, I don't even get into all that. I honestly, this is how I look at it. We all have brains. You know what I'm saying? If you took a brain out of a man or a woman and say, hey man, which one's a man brain, which one's a woman brain, by just looking at it, you wouldn't be able to tell. That's how I look at it. It doesn't matter. Slaves are slaves. Men or women, slaves. Oh, okay. Oh, he must have been saying something. I didn't pay attention. Oh, gotcha. Okay, I see what you're doing, Hyphy. Yeah. And see, I'm not really hip to the manosphere. I keep hearing about manosphere, but I really don't pay attention to that kind of stuff, because I don't really. when you guys come to SMD, I don't want you thinking it has something to do with man or woman. We're all equal. It doesn't matter. It is a woman slave is a woman slave. A man slave is a man slave. It doesn't matter what color they are. You're a slave? Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. Yeah. I don't date slaves. Yeah. And I can, and you know, Omanika, I can see why. I can honestly see why people don't have children because you don't really TV don't really show you that part, right? TV will program you if you pay attention to commercials, which I rarely watch, but the dinner table, the whole family sitting around the table, blah blah blah. They always show that part, right? But they don't show the courtroom part. This is what I strongly suggest young young parents do. This is what I strongly suggest, right? Well, this is a different time now, so I don't know if that'll ever be able to happen again. But back before the coronavirus, I always suggested bring bring your children to these family court session because anybody just sits in the background wait. They don't know who's waiting on what or whatever, right? Sit sit and watch if it doesn't work out with you, if you're deciding to have a child with another person and it doesn't work out, go to a courtroom session and sit in the background, sit in the back. That's where you're going to be if you have a child by a person that you shouldn't have had a child by. That's where you're going to be. And whoever man or woman's up there in that black robe, they're going to dictate your finances for at least the next 18 years of your life, minimum 18 years. Because in Washington state, not only do they dictate your life for 18 years, they can also make you pay for your kids' college, even though they're over 18. How is that even legal? I don't, they're a, they said 18, you're a legal adult at 18, but for some reason, the state of Washington can say, hey, but we're going to make you pay for your legal adults' college. How you going to do that? Because you wrapped yourself in the bullshit. You did it. Dominica says I was in debt, so why should I have children to stay longer in debt? Nah. And you know what? And that's okay for people to say, I don't want kids. I don't say, oh man, you're a bad person. No, no, I get it. Be proud. I don't want kids. Say it. I don't want kids. Don't make slaves make you feel like you have to have children. Luther, LJ, I'm not debt free yet, but just knowing that information you drop has changed my view on life. I view everything different now. I'm no longer impressed by people's cars no more. I just want to be free. And thank you for sharing that, Luther. I appreciate that. I really do. Uh, it's amazing. And it's going to become, look at it this way. It's going to, the things that you know now, they were just blurry. The things that you know now are in focus, and that picture is going to get bigger. More and more things are going to come into focus. Don't worry about if it's happening fast enough. Let it happen at its own pace because if and it counts on your age too. If you wake up at my age, 51, 60, and you got $100,000 in student loan debt and you 50 years old, that's going to be a big problem. That's going to be a big problem. Big problem. True Life says crazy how people think they own their time and I know, isn't it crazy? But that's part of the program. Slaves are number one. Slaves are number one. We couldn't do it without you, slaves. We couldn't do it without you. I couldn't be free. Without you, I couldn't be on this mic. Without you, I wouldn't have a personal finance superpower in my hands that I'm sharing with whoever wants to listen to it. It's hard to find a woman that is single and debt free, especially women. Yeah, that's in their 50s. I'm sure that's true. But they're there. They're out there. They're out there. They're not, and believe you me, they are not dating any men slaves. If you have a finance cell phone in your hand, you are a slave. Because only a slave would ever finance a fucking cell phone. Do you understand? If you get a cell phone every year, you are a slave. If you got the latest iPhone in your hand and you're making payments, you're a slave with the latest iPhone in your hand. Would you recommend buying a place overseas in a low tax? No. I mean, I mean, if you're debt free, do whatever you want. I'm just saying, because I don't really go outside the, hey, do something outside the country. I don't really talk about that. Unless you are debt free, that's not even, if you're in debt, don't worry about moving outside the country. You have no money to move. So don't even worry about it. How can some random judge tell you what's necessary to take care of your children? Children, the judge knows absolutely nothing. Nothing about. You know what? I put it this way, hyphen. Child support is a business. It's just a business, okay? That's why they don't really. You notice, like for having children, they don't really tax you for having children because we need slaves. They're making so much money off of slaves. Slaves having kids, just don't even think about it, right? You just randomly, hey, just have sex with a person, no protection, bust up, and then all of a sudden they're pregnant. Oh man, at least I'm not with her. I didn't marry her. But you might as well marry her. You with her for 18 years, whether you like it or not. Oh man, I don't live with her. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. It doesn't matter if she lives in California and you live in New York. You guys are still connected. Still connected. That was, I ain't gonna lie, man. That really, and again, that was my fault. I'm not blaming my kid's mother. I'm not blaming. I'm just saying that was my fault. That was a living hell. Okay, because first, number one, I had children, so I couldn't leave the state of Washington. That was my choice. I was like, I need to be here. I have to be here to raise them, regardless of how I do it. There, I have to be in the same state, same city. You can't really. And you got to remember, she could have moved. They could have moved away anytime they want. I couldn't do anything about it. That's another thing people don't really understand. You have kids by a person that live in the same city as you. What if one of them decides they're going to move across the United States of America? You can't do anything. You can't stop them from moving. You know what I'm saying? You cannot stop them from moving. And now try to be involved in your kid's life when the other parent is across the United States of America. It doesn't even make any sense. Yeah, I have zero debt and I've got 75,000 in savings. I feel like taxes are only going to go up in America. That's why I want to move overseas. Okay. What You are speaking like that because you believe taxes are the reason. So you should take a step back and see what the true purpose of taxes. Taxes are for slaves because slaves don't understand how taxes work. Everybody pays taxes, but everybody don't pay taxes the same way. If you create a successful business right here in America, create a successful business, guess who pays your taxes? Slaves do. Slaves will give you the money to give to the IRS. You don't work for the money. Like only slaves, when you work hour for hour for the money, you are giving up the time in your life to earn the money. Once you create a business, you're not giving up the time and you're not working hour for hour. You're not giving up the time in your life to earn the money. People, as long as you create a successful business that people can trust, like Amazon, right? So the taxes that Amazon has to pay or whatever, right? They're paying it, but they're paying with the money they collected from slaves, from customers, not slaves, but customers. Then it says, do you need to been married? What? Do you need to have been married to get caught in family court or just have? Oh no, you don't have to be married. No, you don't have to be married. You just need to have a kid. You can be caught up in marriage. In that situation, marriage makes it worse. Because and this is just my opinion. What it is that because you can legally do everything yourself. You don't have to get married, but people just that's just a program on TV. Hey, take my last name and blah blah blah, right? It just Marriage certificate is just say, hey, we both sign here to say if this doesn't work out, the state is allowed to come in and dictate everything for us. That's what that is. Period. So I'm just saying, just be very careful. Let's see. What's up, Sharif? Gabriel, how you doing? Elwood, you take out debt to invest in a property to live with. Yeah, that's called business debt. Yes. I'm not against business debt. That's very different than personal debt. So yes. Would I take out a loan to invest in some property that's going to bring me in money? Most definitely, yes. I would do that for sure. I'm not against business debt. Because when you walk in, put it this way, you have no debt personally, right? And it's time for you to get a business loan. You're going to walk into the biggest bank in your city and say, what is the best business loan that you have to offer in this bank? Because I'm not going to accept anything less than the best. I already don't want to finance, but I don't have the money to buy a whole business. So I need a loan. So if I have to get a loan, I'm only going to accept the best loan. They're going to say, the bank's going to say, oh, you want this type of loan? Here's the requirements for that loan. They're going to give you a list of requirements. You're going to look over the list. If you don't meet all the requirements on the list, you're not ready to open a business. You leave and you don't come back until you're ready. That's it. It's easy. Same thing with mortgages. If you're looking for a house and you need a mortgage, you only accept the best mortgage in the United States of America. If you're not if you cannot get approved for the best mortgage in the United States of America, you're not ready for a house. Oh yeah, no personal guarantee. That's right. No personal guarantee because that pierces the veil. But that's a different story. I'm not getting over there. That's an Andre talk. Okay. Oh, I better put my that battery's going dead quick. Hold up, you guys. I gotta plug my laptop up and realize it was going dead on me. Oops. How'd that happen? Oh. All right, here we go. All right. Leroy says, LJ, should I move away from Atlanta and go somewhere with a cheaper cost of living? Do you like Atlanta? Don't move away from a place you like because of money. Figure out how to live there. I am never ever going to move to a place that I don't like because they got low taxes. All you got to do once you get out of debt, you can figure out. You go, and I don't know. I mean, I would look for a tax person. This is what I would do if I went to a city that had high taxes. I would look for a tax person that lives in that city, and I'm like, hey, man, look for all the tax benefits that this city's offering. That's your job. Go do that. Find it for me. Tell me what I need to do, and then I'll do it. But that tax person's got to be debt free because if they're not debt free, they're not going to really know what I'm talking about. They must be debt free. They must be debt free. I would never hire a tax person that's not debt free. I most definitely 100% never ever in a million years ever hire an accountant that's in debt. That would make absolutely no sense. CENTS. That would make no sense. Why you got 20? You're an accountant? Yeah. You got 20-year-old student loans? Yeah. Why am I even here? How are you even in business? How are you in business and you got 20-year-old student loans? That doesn't make any sense. Oh, he's asking Andre. Okay, got it. Not until 2 years old and profitable. See, that's it. And see, I want you guys to if you haven't joined the Discord server, I strongly suggest you do. Okay. And that's in the link in the details of this video. Join it. SMD family member Hyphy set that up for me long time ago. Set that up. That's where you can talk to other SMD family members like Andre for multiple different subjects, because here I only talk about personal finances. I don't step outside that arena because I don't consider myself a professional out there. I don't consider myself knowledgeable enough to say you should do this, that, blah, 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 whatever. I just keep it personal finances. Gabriel says, LJ, what do you think the future debt of slaves? What do you mean by what do I think? They will be here in the future. What do you mean? We can't do it without slaves. Businesses are not started with debt. They start with capital. See what I'm saying? Once you get it, see, and once you're out of debt and you start talking about going into business, you will know the right people to ask the right questions of. You come up to a person that's knowledgeable outside of personal finances, and the first thing you start with and say, here's my credit report. I'm not in debt. They will know that you have the base knowledge, and then they can work with you upon that because you're not in debt. But if you're in debt, talking about, hey, I want to start a business, and you got $100,000 in student loan debt, they don't want to talk to you. You think Andre's going to talk to you if you say, hey, I want to start a business, but yeah, I got 20-year-old student loans on it and it's $100,000. He's not going to waste his time with you because the business of yourself is not in business. And you're talking about opening up a business outside of yourself, but the business of you is not in business. No, that's a waste of time. No, I mean the new program like student loans. There's some kind of new program with student loans. Student loans are how slaves are created. That's how they create. That's how slaves are created. Student loans. Go research the requirements set by the banks to be approved for a business credit card with no personal guarantee. Oh, that's a good. Let me take a snapshot of that. I'm going to do that. That's a sound like a good one to research. Don't listen to these credit card businesses. Don't listen to these credit card business debt YouTubers. What's up, Yellow J? What's going on, man? This will be my first year of taxes with my new LLC. Okay. New net operating loss for 2020. My accountant is a former IRS auditor turned private accountant. Now, is your accountant, is he debt free? Could you find that out, or did you ask that question, or were you comfortable enough to ask him that question, or did you just know by the way he was speaking? He or she. I don't know if it's a man or woman, but because a lot of people would be uncomfortable to ask somebody if they're personally in debt. I wouldn't. Because like I always say, I don't care what slaves think. I don't care how they feel about mathematics. I don't care. That's their personal problem. Who cares what slaves think or feel? I don't. All right, let's see here. Sorry, you guys. I'm reading something at the same time here. All right. But anyway, we're an hour into it. Just trying to keep this Q&A Sundays going here because a lot of people tell me in the background that they really enjoy the Q&A Sundays, and I appreciate it. I really do. I really appreciate the people that have taken what I've taught just by my videos, not necessarily needed even a consultation, because again, I learned how to get out of debt via Dave Ramsey, but I didn't have to buy any of Dave Ramsey's programs. I just listened to his videos, and the message I got from it was use math on your finances and you'll win with money. I ignored all this religious Christianity stuff. I don't really pay attention because religion has nothing to do with mathematics. So I didn't really pay attention to any of that. If he started talking about it on particular videos, I would just not watch that video, or I would fast forward because it really, to me, it doesn't have, well, not to me, it just has nothing to do with mathematics. It's just to me, it's just a thing that since the majority of people are religious, they tie it together. It's a good business move. All right. It's smart business, it what it does, it allows more trust, I guess, because people trust people that believe in religion, I guess. I don't know, whatever. Gabriel's funny, man. You're funny, Gabriel. You are funny. It is a father and son team. Never asked about but he speaks debt free. Okay, yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You know how he speaks, and you're like, oh, okay. You sometimes if you just listen to a person talk, you'll know right off the bat that they're debt free. Okay, so I get it. That's cool though, man. You crack the code. I see slaves in major depression. I think it's because of all their debt. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's serious business. Don't let social media fool you, you guys. Okay, because you get on social media, you will think everybody's doing good, everybody's cool, they're still enjoying vacations. I see it. I see that shit all the time. I'll be like, oh, you're so lying. You're such a faker. So lying. Gabriel, yes, I do. Slaves are number one, numero uno. Okay, they're number one, Gabriel. Without slaves, I wouldn't exist. What's up, Quentin? Yo, LJ, do you think home prices would be the rate it is if millions of people were not financing homes? If slaves didn't finance home, the housing market would not exist. This is how major it is, okay? If slaves didn't finance homes, the housing market wouldn't exist. If slaves didn't finance cars, no car lots would exist. There would be no CarMax. There would be no car. I don't go on car lots. Well, why would I go there? That doesn't make any sense. My goal is to buy an RV and travel the USA. Yeah, man, that's an awesome idea, especially when you're young. Yeah, I'm in no debt. I'm happy as a clam for sure. There is nothing like freedom. I make 90,000 a year. The average is 35. No clue how everyone is going on vacation, enjoying. They're not. They're not going to. I know you see the pictures. I know they show you pictures of them on planes. I know they show you pictures of them on cruise line ship boats in Mexico on the beach, but they're not really there. That's an illusion. They go on vacation, but they got to get back to the plantation, baby. They got to get back to the plantation. And it said like they go on a vacation for 7 days. Around day 6, guess what they do? They start thinking about the plantation. They start getting on social media. Oh my God, my vacation's almost over. Yeah, you sure do, slave. You got to get back to that plantation. Oh, they thought the change didn't reach all the way to Mexico. Oh, you thought somehow the chains wouldn't reach if you got on a cruise ship? Nah, man, those chains are long. And guess what? You create the chains. Each time you finance something, you add links in your chain. Investing in Bitcoin while having student loans, you are the Bitcoin slave. That's another link in your chain, slave. Then it says widespread financial slavery always exists, or was there a certain point in history where it became the norm? Slavery's always been here. I mean, if you go back to the history of the economic system here in the U.S., it's based on debt. That is crystal clear. It's based on debt. It would not work. Put it this way. The reason why you can go to prison for tax evasion, because if they didn't force taxes are the backbone of the whole economy. If they didn't force people to participate, they wouldn't. If the government came up and said, hey, by the way, we're going to take away prison time for tax evasion. We're going to let you voluntarily pay your taxes. You think people pay their taxes? No, they wouldn't pay shit. And the whole economic system would break. We can't have that. I don't want that. I don't want it to break. Okay, good. It's a frequent point of contention. I am weary of accountants that are only concerned with lowering taxes. They freak out when I say to get the client's reported income up. Oh, would they call you a PAC, Andre? Oh, this motherfucker. Yeah, sure. Oh. Get out of here, freak. You weirdo. That's not how it works. And then Andre hops in his flying shit, his flying saucer and flies off. He's like, where the hell did he park that? L, did you ever take out a 401k? Oh no, I never did that ever. Even when I was in debt, that shit never made no sense to me when I hear it. Oh yeah, I could. And because you got to remember, slaves brag about taking out 401k loans. Have you noticed that? Have you ever heard a slave brag about pulling out a 401k loan? They have no idea what they're saying when they say that. That's how you know they're a slave, when they brag about that. I never did that because that never made no sense to me. Yeah, debt has always been around. That's just the way it is. What's up, Ill Wills? What's going on, man? It's been a minute, man. We got to get on the phone, see what's up, see what you've been up to, man. You've been silent. I got to check on you. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. You can go to prison for not paying child support. Can you? Oh, can you go to prison? You can go to prison for not. I know you can go to jail. You can go to prison for not payment of child support. Holy moly! Oh yeah, that's if you need to borrow. This is what a 401k loan is. If you need to borrow from your future to pay for your present, something's wrong. I'm gonna say that one more time. 401k is for retirement, right? If you need to borrow from your future to pay for your present, that means you have no money in the present. Figure out why you have no money now instead of the future. That's not your money. Yeah, I know you can lose your license, double. I've heard of that. That's why back in the day, man, I had some friends. They did all that happened. Jail, loss of license. I was like, nah, man, I ain't never falling behind on my child support. F that. I ain't doing none of that. True says I had a coworker brag about taking out $50,000 from his 401k. Yeah, crazy. I think during this pandemic, if I'm not mistaken, I think they pulled off the cap on that. I think it was 50. I think they bumped it up to 100. You can pull out 100,000 out of not pull out, but borrow up to God damn, they do slaves so dirty. Ooh wee. And guess what? If you're taking out a $50,000 401k loan and you lose your job, guess what? That money's due. And if you're borrowing from your 401k, you're not going to have it. So you're going to get a 10% penalty and they're going to add it to your annual income. So if you made $50,000 a year and you pulled out $50,000 out of your 401k and you can't pay it back and you lost your job and now it becomes due. You made $100,000 that year, so you get a 10% penalty and a bump up in your tax bracket. Man, they do you dirty. They do you slave so dirty. If you're borrowing from your 401k, that automatically tells them that you are a slave. Slaves borrow from their 401k and brag about it. A slave friend borrowed from her 401k and is in her bad news. Man, see, that's that next level shit Yellow J is doing. See what I'm saying? I'll get there. I'll be there. I'll be there. And when I say next level, I'm just saying a next level of understanding of stuff. Okay, that's all I'm saying. It's kind of depressing. I drank the red pill at such a young age. I can only imagine having the red pill at a very young age. Now, it's easily to take this and use you can use it for bad, really. And I strongly suggest against it. Stay honest, trust, because there's no reason to use it for bad because slaves they don't know they're slaves. So the slaves are easily taken advantage of, right? You don't have to do anything wrong or bad or scam them or illegal because they're giving away money. Okay. What's up, Mosman? What's going on? Well, you guys, we're going to wrap this up. I got to hit the road here. Thank you, everybody, for joining today. Again, If you want to talk to more SMD family members for deeper conversations than what I speak about, join the Discord server. I don't know if Hyphy, you still in the room? Can somebody post the Discord server link? If not, I can go over here and find it myself here. It's in the details of the videos. Here we go. Here we go. There we go. What's up, Alpha Sigma? There's the Discord server. See what I'm saying? They're speaking alien right there. That's alien. Yeah, you better believe I'm always gonna have a lawyer for all my stuff. Even when I buy a house, I'm gonna have a lawyer. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining today. Until next time. Let me throw this out here one more time. You guys see my website? Okay, hit that like button. Please don't forget to subscribe. And there's my email. Thank you, everybody, for joining today. All right. SMD forever for sure. Appreciate it, Andre. All right. You guys have a wonderful evening. All right. Bye.